it's Jason from Pro Guitar Studio, and today we take a look at a very special chord, one that I like the sound of a lot, that can be used in many different ways. And this chord here is the minor 9 chord. And I thought I'd keep it really simple today, just doing 2 different voicings of this chord in 2 different places. Okay, so we're going to do an E minor 9 and an A minor 9. Like I said, 2 ways to play each of those chords. Okay, so just to give you some background here, minor 9 chord is a chord that extends beyond your standard E minor. Okay, so if we are looking at the theory behind what an E minor chord is, E minor consists of 3 notes, E, G, and B. And just to make this sort of simple, if you don't know much about music theory, if we take the E minor scale, we have 7 notes, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, so those 7 notes. After that, everything just keeps repeating, so back to the E note, right? So the E minor chord essentially is built by using the first note, skipping the second note, using the third, skipping the fourth, and using the fifth. Basically notes that are 3 notes apart in the scale, and we can call those third intervals, okay, because they're 3 notes apart. So from the first to the third, third to the fifth, all right? So when we're looking at that root, third, and fifth, that's our E minor triad, or 3-note chord, our standard E minor chord shape, right? So we're looking at E minor like this. That's what we're going to play to start off. So from there, if you want to build onto that, keeping in mind the idea of building the chord with thirds, we can do the first, third, fifth, and then 7th note in the chord. Or I should say scale. So first note, skip the second, use the third note, skip the fourth, use the 5th note, skip the 6th, use the 7th. E, G, B, D. Now on the guitar, we don't really play things that often in closed voicing, like doing E, G, B, D. It's very hard to do. Not everyone can do that, right? So most of our voicings are open voicings, which means the notes are spread apart across different octaves. And in this case here, in E minor 7 usually would be played E, B, D, G. So the G would be on the 3rd string, for example, right? Now, as we go higher, let's say we use the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, we can go higher to the 9th. And in this case here, the 9th interval is what we'll call here E, G, B, D, F sharp. Okay, so the 9th note in the scale is F sharp. It's the same as note number 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When we get to number 8, we're back at number 1, which can seem sort of confusing. But 8 is number 1, 9 is number 2, 10 is number 3, 11 is number 4, and so on. Now, you never really hear anyone talk about 10, 12, and 14. We don't really use those numbers. We use basically root, 3rd, 5th, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. We go higher that way because that's how you build onto a chord. I'll try to stop it there because it gets really confusing if you don't know much about what I'm saying here, but let's just keep in mind the idea of the minor 9 chord is that we're going to the 9th note in the scale, okay? So going like root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9. And so all it means is we add that note, that's the 9th note, into the chord. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's in a different place. In this case here, we're going to make the voicing so it won't be all the notes. We're going to skip out the 5th note because it's a really common way to do things. Basically cut the 5th out. And there's reasons why we do that. Main reason being that that note is almost the same in every single chord. So if you look at major 7, minor 7, dominant 7, all those different chord shapes, it includes a perfect 5th. In this case here, we're just going to omit that note. And if you have questions about this, feel free to add into the comments. I don't want to get too far into the theory because, like I said, it's opening up basically a big rabbit hole because everyone's at different points in what they understand with music theory, and I could be coming into this way past where you're at, okay? So keep in mind we're using the root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th note of the scale. So in this case here, I'm going to do an E minor 9, but I'm using the E note to start off with my middle finger. We're using a G note with my index, so 7 on string number 5, 5 on string number 4, 7 on string 3, and this note here is a D note. So we have E, G, D. We're skipping out that B note I was talking about. And on top, an F sharp, that's a 9th. So these together, that's a minor 7 without the 5th. But we have the 9th on top. I think it's a great sounding chord. Now if you have a whammy bar, it can sound really cool. Should have put mine on to give you some cool sounds there. But yeah, how I'm going to play this through this piece is really simple. This is playing string 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, now we're going to take that same shape. We're going to move it up to A minor 9. So we're going to go middle finger on fret number 12. 12, 10, 12, 12. And in this case here, we're playing an A note to start off, C, G, B. Root third, fifth, sorry, root third, seventh, ninth, or flat seventh, ninth. Okay, so it was like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Keeps going like that. Now, do it twice in a row. The third time around, we're going to change the voicing. So I'm going to do the exact same notes, but move to string number 6 as the root note. And it's awkward because we can't do this. If we do this note here makes it a minor 7. Just a minor 7 chord, regular minor 7. So we have to lower this note because of the tuning on the guitar. The second string is a little awkward. We're going to lower this to fret number 11. Okay, so weird shape. This one might not be your favorite. You don't have to do this one, but 12, 10, 12, 11. So ring, index, pinky, middle. Okay, so same thing as the other chord. But we have to drop that one note back 1 fret. And the reason why is because the second string is tuned differently, which made us have to add 1 fret. Better to play. It's easier to play, but it's awkward. And just understand that as we move across. So F sharp is now on fret number 11 here. So 12, 10, 12, 11. And then to A minor, just move that shape down to fret number 5. Now you'll see me in the video, in the example, I try to show you that you can use 1 finger at a time, okay? Because a lot of times people think you have to do the full chord shape, but when we're arpeggiating the chord like this, if you want to, you can just go 1 note at a time, okay? So in this case here, I can just play in order of appearance. Okay, and then the next time around goes back to the original way. Okay, so we had this. And then again. And then string number 6, right? That's an awkward one for sure. So that's a lot of fun. Now, another way you can play an A minor 9 or an E minor 9 is to play an A minor bar chord. I'm just doing A minor because it's on fret number 5, right? And then we take the pinky finger, move it down to the first string. And that's an A minor 9 or E minor 9. So if you prefer that way, that's sort of cool too. So those are actually 3 voicings, I guess. I won't write that third one down. That's one you can check out. 2 ways to play through this. Really, the first one is just, I think, the coolest one to check out. The 5th root. And just trying to get you, your feet wet with these 9th chords. Okay, so minor 9, really cool. It works great with distortion, with clean sounds. Whatever is your cup of tea, go for it. And finger picking, whether you use a pick, finger pick, whatever you want to do there. You strum it, 1 note at a time, arpeggios, finger pick. They're all going to work. So any questions about the theory, feel free, add those in the comments below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos like this week, and I look forward to seeing you soon.